Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all. This is Manuel welcoming you back to YouTube Best. Today we'll be having yet another interesting news update from the IPOB. Yes, the indigenous people of Biafra will be having a generalized march in Washington, D.C. on June 20th, 2020. But before we get in depth to that news, please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, find it in your heart to do that. Also remember to ring the bell button to get updated each time we publish a new news update. Enjoy the rest of the news. The news headline reads, Nnamdi Kanu to lead 1 million men march in Washington, D.C. on Biafran's freedom. Subheadline reads, Leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will on June 20, 2020 lead a 1 million march in Washington, D.C. against alleged religious persecution, excavation, and oppression of Biafran people in various parts of Nigeria. IPOB, in a statement on Friday by its Media and Publicity Secretary, Emma Powerful, stated that the march would target on the liberation of its victims of neo-colonial subjugation in Nigeria. It said the U.S. authority and law enforcement agencies had already granted permission for this once-in-a-lifetime march to draw global attention to the unspeakable human misery and rivers of blood flow throughout Biafra land and Nigeria at large. According to his statement, our great leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his entourage will lead this march of Biafrans, the forcefully dispossessed, all victims of Fulani religious persecution, the enslaved and oppressed minorities in northern Nigeria, friends of Biafra and lovers of freedom all over the world, on the march toward the liberation of victims of neo-colonial subjugation in Nigeria on that fateful day, near Capitol Hill, Washington, USA. We are delighted to announce that we have sought and have been granted relevant permission by the various U.S. states and federal law enforcement agencies in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, as millions of Biafrans and non-Biafrans persecuted Christians community from across the globe are expected to storm Washington, D.C. for this once-in-a-lifetime march to draw global attention to the unspeakable human misery and rivers of blood flow throughout Biafra land and Nigeria at large. IPOB's determination to set free all captives trapped in the British-created zoo is unwavering and relentless. We have reached many and are continuing to reach out to all representatives, groups and associations of marginalized, oppressed and subdued communities across Nigeria domicile in the USA to be part of this historical event. This unique event in Washington, D.C. will bring home to politicians and policymakers in Capitol Hill the true state of deplorable human rights abuses, lawlessness and premeditated genocide of the Abba Karim-led regime of Fulani cabal in Nigeria, ruling all in the name of the late Muhammadu Buhari. The reign of Fulani terrorism, despotism, impunity, genocide against Judeo-Christian ethnic group, and judicial rascality of the Supreme Court of Nigeria will lay bare for the American audience to fully grasp the level of evil going on in Nigeria. Only after this march will the world finally appreciate the level of human misery and pain inflicted by cattle herding, uneducable and violent minority from the core Sharia Arewa North on the rest of the populations unfortunate enough to find themselves trapped in the British colonial experiment BCE gone wrong called Nigeria. What is happening today in Nigeria with the help of a corrupt judiciary is far worse than what obtained during the darkest day of apartheid in South Africa. All the ethnic cleansing going on in the Middle Belt, religious persecution of Christians in the north, genocide in the south, and forcefully Islamization of Christian enslaved will be better appreciated by opinion leaders right across the world after this march. We are going to let the world know how Fulani illiterates, elites, have steadily relied on British colonial patronage to float 5 of the world's deadliest terror groups. How this same Fulani group have successfully perverted the judiciary, especially the Supreme Court, in their now successful quest to pervert democracy. Not since the reign of the demonic Idi Amin Dada in Uganda has Africa witnessed such complicity judiciary in the persecution of innocent citizens and subversion of the spirit and letter of the law. Boko Haram, Fulani terrorist herdsmen, Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, ISWAP, ISIS in West African province, Ansar and bandits are all terrorist groups and killing machines set up by the Fulani elites who enjoy unlimited British support and patronage. The public in the USA will finally know that both Nigerian Senate and House of Representatives are busy promoting laws to give greater funding to terrorists who will one day attack America's interests. Nigeria have succeeded in becoming the only state in Africa where terrorists actually rule the central government. We are calling on all Biafra, Ijo, Ibake, Igala, Idoma, Igede, Anang, Efik, Ogoni, Igbo, Nsekiri, Urodo, Isoko, and all peace-loving religious groups and associations from southern Kaduna across the Middle Belt down to the east and west, living in America and other parts of the world, to come out with their children and march for freedom for all, because the pathway to our freedom is in our hands. Together, let's watch a latest documentary clip from Nnamdi Kanu on the actualization of Biafra.
We are confronting the enemy right now as I speak or as we interact. Anybody who doesn't know what is happening back home is either deceiving him or herself or is living in a cloud cuckoo land, because the fact of the matter is that the enemies have come, they are in our land, and we are engaging them as we speak. On a daily basis, we are engaging them in Ebonyi, in Enugu, and before that in Anambra as well. And so it is a sign of the time. Anytime I'm putting on this hat, it signifies that our people are engaged on the ground massively in an effort to repel the vandals, the invaders who are in our land. They keep trying, but we keep repelling them, and we shall continue to do so. It doesn't matter what they say, how frightening their press statements may come across. Insofar as Biafra land is concerned, that is IPOB territory, and we shall continue to meet them.
Okay. In your analysis before you went to jail, you said in your broadcasts that when the people of Germany, but you were specific, precise, that when USA Biafrans will wake up, you will know that Biafra is here. I don't know if that's the reason why you came here, and I don't know if, based on your tour in the United States, do you believe that Biafrans in USA have woken up?
I believe they have with my coming. It has resonated. A lot of people have started to identify openly with IPOB and the entire Biafra project, whereas before they were slightly hesitant and fearful of their involvement. I would say it's a very good thing in general. All the events that I went to were well attended, culminating in the spectacular finale we had in New York City. And as you well know, Houston, New York, and Los Angeles are key areas for our people, and to an extent Chicago as well. So I would say overall that the consciousness of our people have been elevated to a position where nobody can claim ignorance of what we are trying to do or what we are trying to accomplish. So in that regard, I think we did accomplish what we set out to do in the first place. And mind you, we are coming back again here next year, in July of next year, to take our people down on a march to Washington. Some say it is 1 million. I call it 2 million. What I want to see on the street is 2 million people here in the USA, to let American people know that Biafrans are here, and to let them know that we have one yearning, one demand, one aspiration, and one goal, which is to restore Biafra. And at that point, I will be able to revisit your question. But I can tell you categorically that I have not changed nor wavered from the assertion that I made earlier, that the United States of America is pivotal, is central, is critical to the emancipation of Biafra from the clutches of the damnation they call Nigeria. And it will start here. It's already started anyway. It will culminate next year. And I believe by then would have gone way down, making sure that Biafra is restored.
Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Remember to like and share. Once again, I am Manuel signing out from YouTube Best.